Welcome to J.K. Michael's Knowledge Series. This is the Career Improvement Series, and our focus for this section would be effective communication skills. This will take about 5 sub-sectional topics. First, we'll present an overview, and then we will discuss how you can sell yourself and how to communicate in interviews, how to communicate as a leader, and finally close up with communication modes and methods, where we'll discuss speaking, writing, and other communication styles. This is our introductory video. So let's jump right in. Like we'll say in colloquial communication, breakfast is served. First, let us begin with the definition of communication. According to Richard Nordquist, communication is the process of sending and receiving messages through verbal and non-verbal means, including speech or oral communication, writing and graphical representations such as infographics, maps, and charts, and signs and signals as well as behavior. Putting it in simpler terms, communication is said to be the creation and the exchange of meaning. Why is communication important? Communication not only establishes bridges between people and closes up gaps in understanding, but it is also the means through which human goals are achieved. Have you ever thought about how much history would be different if Barack Obama had no way to communicate his vision with his teaming supporters? He wouldn't even have any teaming supporters to begin, because how do people support something they do not understand? Communication is extremely important in every aspect of life. Name it: personal, relationship, work relationship, business, social interchange, and of course, politics. The impact of communication is significantly felt in the work environment, where effectiveness in communication can be an essential determinant in whether a business or a company achieves its goals or misses them, or even have any goals for that matter. Communication has always been a strong factor in success at interviews, getting nominated for a leadership position, or any kind of promotion. Numerous research have always highlighted communication skills as one of the most important skills to develop if you must get to the top of your career or even succeed at anything. It is therefore a nut that we must crack, and this series aims to demystify effective communication as it concerns the work environment. At work, we communicate all the time with all kinds of people. The external customers, which include the people who are outside your organization who need the products and services that your business provides. In the broadest sense, external customers are people outside the workplace with whom you will need to build good working relationship for success on the job, and that includes a variety of folks ranging from suppliers to investors. The other kind of people we are required to communicate with are the internal customers. These are your fellow employees outside and inside the department where you work, or whom you may provide services or assistance. There are generally 5 types of communication, and they include verbal communication. Verbal communication occurs when we engage in speaking with others. It can be face-to-face, over the phone, via Skype or Zoom, etc. Some verbal engagements are informal, such as chatting with a friend over coffee or in the office kitchen, while others are more formal, such as a scheduled meeting. Verbal communication never stops at the words spoken, because when we communicate verbally, we often send out non-verbal cues that help the recipient of the communication better understand our thoughts and feelings as it concerns what is being communicated. These are called non-verbal communication, and they are the second type of communication we will consider. Like stated earlier, verbal communication cannot be separated from non-verbal communication, even when they occur over the phone, as we are conscious of the tone of voice used in communicating. It is said that more than 80% of communication is non-verbal, and people put more weight into what we communicate non-verbally than whatever we say. Non-verbal communication includes facial expressions, posture, eye contact, hand movement, and touch. For example, if you're engaged in a conversation with your boss about your cost-saving idea, it is important that you pay attention both to their words and their non-verbal communication. Your boss might be in agreement with your idea verbally, but their non-verbal cues, such as avoiding eye contact, sighing, scrunching up the face, etc., may indicate something different. This is a double-edged sword. You want to have 2 kinds of awareness when communicating: an awareness of what the person communicating is actually getting across, but also an awareness of what you are communicating non-verbally. You want to present yourself as knowledgeable, personable, confident, and competent in all your communication in the workplace. Written communication. Now, written communication includes all communication that is intended to be understood by reading, whether it is an email, a memo, a report, a Facebook post, a tweet, a contract, etc. All forms of written communication have the same goal, which is to disseminate disseminate information in a clear and concise manner. When this goal is not achieved, it often leads to confusion and embarrassment and might even present a potential legal jeopardy. It is therefore important to remember a few things when writing, especially in this digital age on an internet that never forgets. Number one, ensure you write very well and avoid mistakes that will diminish your impact. Secondly, ensure that the content of your message is something you intend to promote for the long haul. Ultimately, it will be important to have a third party proofread your documents before you issue them. That's if you can afford them. Otherwise, it's possible to use writing tools, and there are a ton of them out there. There is also listening, which many may not consider a type of communication, but it is actually the most important form of communication. If we say the ultimate goal of communication is understanding, and listening is that which makes understanding even remotely possible, doesn't it make sense that listening should be the most important communication skill? If we cannot listen to the person sitting across from us, then we cannot effectively engage them. Think about a negotiation. Part of the process is to assess what the opposition wants and needs. Without listening, it becomes impossible to assess that, which makes it difficult to achieve a win-win outcome. Finally, there is the visual communication, a communication style that is becoming much more pronounced in this digital age. We have always been a visual society, and our ability to communicate visually have only become more sophisticated with the development of internet and social media technology. Advertisers sell products and ideas using the power of images, and think about that from a personal perspective. The images we post on social media are meant to convey meaning, to communicate a message. In some cases, the message might be, "I don't believe this," in the case of a meme, or "I just won an award in my discipline." We also use images to communicate emotions using children, animals, and so forth. However we look at it, communication has always been the key to unlocking the vastness of human potential, and without the ability to communicate, our world will be vastly different. For more information on business communication, please visit our website www.jkmichaelspm.com. To summarize, communication is the process of sending and receiving messages through verbal or non-verbal means, including speech or oral communication, writing and graphical representation such as infographics, maps, and charts, as well as signs, signals, and behavior. The goal of communication is understanding, and this is what effective communication aims to achieve. Communication is also very vital for work and life success. There are 5 types of communication: the verbal communication, the non-verbal communication, written communication, listening, and visual communication. Now it's time for my question. Can you think about what the world will look like if communication was not an option? I know it's crazy, but try to imagine your workplace if there was absolutely no way to communicate with each other. Write down 5 things that would be absolutely different. Can you do that? This will be fun. Enter your comments right at the section at the bottom of this video. I will check them and respond and offer feedback. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.